Hello again, everyone. Filling in for Scott Casper, I'm Ross Peterson, and it's time to take a look at this week's news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. We start this week in Oklahoma City at the Chesapeake Energy Arena, site of the 2014 NCAA Division I Wrestling Championships. It's an event that brings together the best college wrestlers and teams in the nation and allows the American wrestling community to come together in celebration of the sport. The championships, as always, kicked off with a press conference a day prior to competition. 5 of the top athletes in the tournament spoke about the challenge ahead. 3 returning champions suffered at least 1 loss this year and talked about how they were able to turn around their season. Here's 2-time heavyweight champ Tony Nelson of Minnesota.
Was able to work in the room and fix some things where that got my head back on track, and it's nothing's going to come to you here at the NCAA tournament, so you got to work for it, and I feel good right now and I'm excited.
Last year's top finisher at 141, Oklahoma's Kendrick Maple.
I had a great support system at Oklahoma. We got family. All the fans really support me and just believe in God, and it's really just helped me through all the losses, dealing with that adversity, and right now it's 0-0 going into this tournament.
Returning 174-pound champion Chris Perry of Oklahoma State.
I think all great wrestlers know that the big tournaments are the only ones that matter. It doesn't matter what happens during the year. Suffer losses wherever, but if you win here, everybody forgets about those losses. So I think all great wrestlers know that.
2012 NCAA champion David Taylor of Penn State talked about dealing with pressure.
Always had eyes on me my entire career, so it's just something that I can't really think too much about, and all I really got to focus on is what I've done my whole life. Let's go out and shake hands and wrestle as hard as I can for 7 minutes and shake the guy's hand, walk off the mat, get ready for the next one. I have 5 matches left to do that, and that's all I can really think about at this point.
Last year's runner-up at 133, Iowa's Tony Ramos talked about the boost of winning a Big Ten title.
Felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders, so I think coming into here it's going to let me open up a lot more and wrestle even tougher and just let it fly even more going into this tournament.
5 of the top coaches of the tournament also spoke at the press conference. Here's Iowa head man Tom Brands.
I can speak for all 10 of our guys. They'd say the same. We got to be tough for 3 days, and I think that's a pretty comprehensive formula that's across the board for all of our guys. They believe, and we believe in them.
Oklahoma head coach Mark Cody.
Nice to have this event here in Oklahoma. Nice drive up here, 10 minutes up the road. And we're happy to be here. We've qualified 8. It's nice for our fans to be able to not have to travel again and come here. And I think it's very accessible for our people to come here too. So we're just excited to be here and ready to get rolling tomorrow.
Minnesota's longtime leader, Jay Robinson.
As coaches and as competitors and actually as fans, is to this point to see what happens, to see who's the best. So what's going to happen is going to happen like every national tournament we've ever been to. There's going to be a lot of highs, there's going to be a lot of lows, but overall it's going to be, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for the fans and everybody else.
Penn State's Cale Sanderson.
Just like everyone else, we're excited. We're grateful for this opportunity. Definitely, I think we're ready to go. But we'll find that out over the next 3 days. But this is I think the best wrestling event of the year, every year, and happy to be here.
Oklahoma State head coach John Smith.
That we're going to have wrestle our best 3 days that we've wrestled all year, and I do believe we'll see that out of our team. I don't know if that's enough, but I do believe we're excited about being here and excited about wrestling some of our best. And it's a great season for wrestling.
You're watching USA Wrestling. We'll be right back.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Hi, I'm Wayne Boyd, Director of Operations and Development for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. The club was founded to help wrestling worldwide, especially at our senior level, of course at the collegiate level and the high school level. But the most important level for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club is the kids level. And these are some of the guys today that will be tomorrow's Olympic champions. Let's hear it, guys.
Titan Mercury!
That's Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, San Marino, California.
As expected, the race for the NCAA team trophy was a close race from start to finish. The first day of competition featured 2 rounds of competition, and Penn State held a 5-point lead over Minnesota and Oklahoma State. The Nittany Lions went on to advance 5 athletes to the quarterfinal round.
You know, anytime you lose matches, you don't need to lose. It's frustrating, but I think we had some gutsy performances. You know, obviously Zane had a tough matchup. You know, Nico did a nice job. He got the lineup, our guys that are wrestling well. Jimmy did a nice job there. You know, he was, that would have been an easy time for him to get frustrated, but he kept his composure and ended up getting a major.
On the second day of action, the quarterfinals and semis were held, one of the most important days of the event. When it was over, the top 3 teams sat only 3.5 points apart, with Penn State in first, Minnesota just 1/2 point behind, and Oklahoma State in third. The Cowboys put 4 athletes into the finals, the most of any team. Here's Coach John Smith.
Scoring points was the key and the difference for most of them, and you know, it was good to see Marsden come through there. You know, and been a tough tournament, most of it good for us. You know, and put ourselves in a position to have a shot. You know, and I think that's all you could really hope for.
It all came down to day 3 of the championships. The early session capped off the All-American round with all medal matches but the championship finals. The Minnesota Golden Gophers had a huge morning and took a 3.5 point lead over Penn State with some big performances in the consolation rounds. Coach Jay Robinson.
You want to be a part of an adventure, you want to be the hero, and you want to save the maiden. We can't save the maiden today, but they've been a part of an adventure, okay? And they got to be the hero this afternoon by scoring points. So they're living part of their dream. I mean, it's a cool thing to be around and witness.
Minnesota took a slim lead into the finals, but the team title was still up for grabs when the championship round kicked off on the raised center mat at the sold-out Chesapeake Energy Arena as millions of more watched live on ESPN. The NCAA decided to make the 165-pound match the main event of the night, featuring Penn State's David Taylor and Tyler Caldwell of Oklahoma State. The championship final started at 174, where returning champion Chris Perry of Oklahoma State took on another past NCAA champion, rival Andrew Howe of Oklahoma. Perry scored a clutch escape and takedown in the second period and added riding time to defeat Howe 4-0 for his second straight title and a great start for the Cowboys. Perry was named the Mat.com Wrestler of the Week for his big win.
I told him I'd make adjustments, and from the last time I wrestled him, and I did. You know, hand fought him a little more last time, and this time I knew he thought I was going to not shoot on him, and I wanted to let him know right off the whistle, I'm coming for you.
Next up was Penn State's 2-time NCAA champion Ed Ruth, who took on top-ranked undefeated Jimmy Sheptock of Maryland at 184. Ruth scored 2 early takedowns and dominated throughout on his way to a 7-2 victory. Ruth's win put Penn State back on top in the team race.
This day was just like, wow, I came a long way. And, you know, it just makes me think back on the rest of my career. You know, freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, up until now, and it's just like, wow, like I came a long way. You know, 5 years is a long time.
The finals at 197 featured a true freshman, Jaden Cox of Missouri, against the top-ranked senior Nick Heflin of Ohio State. When Heflin was penalized for stalling with 30 seconds left, it was Cox who came away with a 2-1 victory.
This is a dream of mine. It's something I put all my heart and my work to. I always tell people, there's no point. I see it this way. There's no point in doing something if you're not going to push yourself to try to do it to the best of your ability.
The heavyweight match had major implications on the team race, as 2-time national champion Tony Nelson of Minnesota faced a tough young Nick Wadowski of NC State. Nelson had beaten his opponent earlier in the year, but Wadowski had 2 wins in freestyle over Nelson last summer. This time around, it was the NC State sophomore who scored 2 third-period takedowns and a 4-2 victory, putting a big dent in Minnesota's hopes for a team title.
Just stayed focused and kept in the back of my mind, and I think about it the most when I'm out there. I think about my friends, my family. You know, it's like, let's do it for them. You know, they're back at home watching. You know, they're cheering for me. So.
Next up at 125, returning champion Jesse Delgado of Illinois took on the highly touted Nashawn Garrett of Cornell. Delgado scored a key takedown in the second period for a 3-2 victory and his second NCAA crown.
Once I think Mark saw that I had a feel for it, then he started working on me with stuff, but basic defense is what he wants. I think they're on the edge of the seat sometimes when I'm getting twisted like that. I think it makes it a little fun for people to watch though.
The 133-pound final was a battle between Big Ten rivals, Tony Ramos of Iowa and Tyler Graff of Wisconsin. With the bout tied 1-1 in the tiebreaker, Ramos scored a 2-point tilt and a 3-2 overtime win.
Yeah, I knew he liked to roll. As soon as he hit that roll, I was just finding some way to score. I knew if I caught that arm and I was like, you know, if I just fall back a little bit, I'm going to get a quick count. Just glad I got it this year, unlike last year.
Looking for NCAA title number 3 was Ohio State superstar Logan Stieber. He scored a 10-1 major decision over Virginia Tech's Devin Carter. Carter unexpectedly returned to action after tearing a hamstring in December and miraculously reached the finals. Stieber will return to Columbus next year, looking to join a rare group of 4-time NCAA champions.
They were close calls, but I never once, I guess, thought that I didn't win or anything like that. So I always had confidence, and I felt great out there tonight.
Another freshman took center stage at 149 as Northwestern's Jason Surtis drew Oklahoma State's Josh Kindig in the finals. Surtis scored a takedown and sudden victory overtime for an impressive 3-1 victory.
I went out there, I was confident, and I wasn't worried about it being the NCAA finals. I was just focused on winning that match and wrestling tough.
Minnesota still had a shot at the team title when the always explosive Dylan Ness took on Oklahoma State's Alex Derringer in the finals at 157. Derringer came out on fire and scored several takedowns and turns for a 13-4 major decision. With the win, Penn State clinched their 4th consecutive team title.
I wrestled really good, I have to say. But, you know, last year for conference semis and the 3rd place match, I wrestled my best I ever had too. So, I mean, I think just handling the pressure.
Now we go to the main event, where 2012 NCAA champion and 4-time finalist David Taylor of Penn State faced 4-time All-American Tyler Caldwell of Oklahoma State. Taylor controlled the match from start to finish and ended his storied career with a 6-0 finals victory. He was also named the most outstanding wrestler of the tournament.
Something that not many people can say they've done and be part of 4 national championship teams. It's something you look back, you're 97 years old and say, yeah, you know, that's pretty cool.
The top 4 teams earning trophies were the champion Nittany Lions of Penn State, runner-up Minnesota, 3rd place Oklahoma State, and the 4th place Hawkeyes of Iowa. The Nittany Lions were celebrating their 4th consecutive NCAA team title. Head coach Cale Sanderson talked about the incredible run.
It was a great year for college wrestling, and you know, we're just very, very happy that we're able to, you know, to finish it off with a win.
We'll be right back with more after this. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Every year, one of the highlights of the NCAA Championships week is the USA Wrestling competition held during Fan Festival, free of charge to all the fans in attendance for nationals. This year, Team USA took on a talented team from India in a freestyle dual meet in front of a standing room only crowd. Team USA got off to a great start. At 1:34, Illinois grad BJ Futrell got his offense going against world bronze medalist Bajrang of India. He locked up a cradle and scored a pin in 2 minutes 35 seconds.
It's been a blessing. It's not really many opportunities we get these foreigners on USO to compete in front of our home crowd. So it's definitely feels good to come out here and get this win, get Team USA rolling.
Boise State grad Jason Chamberlain was up next at 1:43 and showcased a potent offense on his own, scoring from both his feet and on the mat on the way to a 12-2 tech fall over Rajneesh.
I spent the last couple weeks with the World Cup team, training and wrestling and watching the guys do the World Cup. So just being in that atmosphere long enough has really benefited my style and seeing what everyone in the world is doing right now.
Former UNI star Moza Faye was up next at 1:54. He trailed 3-2 after the first period, but owned period 2 and finished with an 11-2 win over Amit Kumar.
I'm kind of college, I was a third period wrestler, and now I guess freestyle I'm a second period wrestler, so it's kind of my time to shine, second period where I score the points.
Another comeback for Team USA at 1:54 as Bucknell grad Kevin LaValle fell behind Parveen Rana early on, but scored a pair of 2-point turns in the second period for a 9-2 win.
I'm wrestling in the upper weight class right now. That's a 74-kilo guy that won the Schultz. Right, he's a big man. Guys. So anytime I'm wrestling something big like that, you got to keep wearing on. So eventually got tired. Towards the end of the match, it gave me my opportunity to score points in bunches, and that's what I like to do.
Next in the upper weights, a pair of past NCAA champions for the USA, both who train full-time at the Olympic Training Center. Iowa State's NCAA champion John Reeder came out on fire, scoring a quick takedown in a series of turns for a 10-0 tech fall in just 57 seconds over Pawan Kumar at 189.
My training's been going really well. I made the transition to Colorado Springs, and I really feel like I'm taking it to a new level with Brandon Slay, Dustin Kilgore, Bill Zadek, Zeke. You know, I got Snyder in the room with us, so we got a great room.
Closing out the duel at 213 pounds was Kent State's first NCAA champion, Dustin Kilgore. He used an effective ankle lace turn and scored another tech fall for the USA with an 11-1 win over Sewart Cadian.
This is NCAA's, top of the line. Everyone loves it, whether you're a little kid, some guy wrestling it way long ago, decades ago, you love it, man. And the crowd's tremendous. I honestly didn't think this many people would show up for it, but, you know, I should have known better.
National freestyle coach Zeke Jones talked about the dominant performance of his team.
They had a world medalist in the lineup, a Dave Schultz champion, and, you know, we put some new, I wouldn't say inexperienced, but guys that are obviously, you know, haven't had the international experience like some of our national team, and they performed well today. It's just showing that we have some depth in the country.
The NCAA Championships always bring out some of the greatest wrestlers in history, and we had a chance to catch up with a few of them during the USA vs. India dual meet. 1996 Olympic champion Kendall Cross came out to support the U.S. and enjoy the action at the NCAA tournament.
This is my hometown. I live about 8 minutes from this arena, or I used to anyway. And
And so I get to come home, stay with my mom, my brother, my niece, see my family.
Olympic and world silver medalist in Greco-Roman Matt Lindland is a big supporter of Team USA in all three styles.
Just come out and watch wrestling in general, support the guys that are competing, and just, I'm a fan. That's why I'm here. I'm a fan. I like watching wrestling, and we're going to get a lot of it this weekend.
This week, the organizers of the U.S. World Team Trials announced that tickets are now on sale for the event, which will be held at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin on May 30th through June 1st. Only 909 reserved seats will be offered for the event, with the remaining tickets sold as general admission. If you're looking to lock up one of the best seats, you need to order your tickets right away. Just go to Ticketmaster or online at Ticketmaster.com. Some of the world and Olympic medalists expected to compete include Olympic and world champion Jordan Burroughs, Olympic champion Jake Varner, Olympic medalist and world champion Clarissa Chun, and Olympic medalist Coleman Scott. The winners at the World Team Trials will earn a spot on Team USA for the 2014 World Championships in Uzbekistan in September. The Junior World Team Trials for Freestyle and Greco-Roman will also be held at the event and will decide the U.S. lineup for the Junior Worlds in Croatia. Again, you'll want to order tickets now for the World Team Trials in Madison at Ticketmaster or online at Ticketmaster.com. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly. We'll be right back.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
With the college season now in the books, the USA Wrestling national event schedule now goes into full swing. This weekend, the USA Wrestling Girls Folkstyle Nationals and the Women's University Freestyle Nationals will take place in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This growing women's event will be webcast live on themat.com and USA Wrestling's YouTube channel. This coming week, a new major folkstyle event, the Postseason Nationals, will take place in Las Vegas, Nevada. Other upcoming events include the first of USA Wrestling's regional championships, with the Northwest Regionals kicking things off in Battleground, Washington. April 4th through the 6th, the USA Wrestling Folkstyle Nationals will take place in Cedar Falls, Iowa. That event is the highlight of the USA Wrestling Folkstyle schedule. Special thanks to Flow Wrestling, who will broadcast the event with coverage of every age group. Let's take a look at some of the breaking news from the USA Wrestling scene. 2013 Cadet World Champion Aaron Pico of California won a gold medal in men's freestyle at the Petco Sirikov Ivan Ilyev Junior International over the weekend. Pico won 3 matches on his way to the title at 145, with 2 coming by tech fall. In the semis, he beat fellow Cadet World Champion Abdimuzla Mukadinov of Azerbaijan 6-0. In the finals, he crushed Russia's junior national silver medalist Imayu Propajev with a 17-6 technical fall. Pico has been competing and training overseas on a regular basis this winter and continues his rapid improvement in freestyle. Also this week, Dr. Dave Kirby announced that the 2014 Jacob Kirby Memorial Cup in Greco-Roman Wrestling will now take place on November 1st. FILA elected to move the Greco-Roman World Cup to Iran in May, which is the normal date for the Kirby Cup, so the Cup has been rescheduled for the fall. USA Wrestling is pleased to announce that our program will now air in an additional 45,000 homes in Tennessee on Charter Cable. The show will air on Thursday nights and Saturday mornings, with Takedown Wrestling also being added to the lineup. On behalf of all of us, we'd like to welcome Charter Cable to the USA Wrestling family. And finally, a big congratulations to our Manager of Broadcasting, Social Media and Grassroots Marketing Coordinator, Richard Emmel. This past week, the National Wrestling Media Association announced their annual awards, and Richard received the New Media Specialist Award for his excellence in social media. Emmel put together the Google Plus Hangout series and expanded all of USA Wrestling's social media platforms. Congratulations to Richard Emmel, who is also a major contributor to this program. It's time for the USA Wrestling Photo of the Week. The pictures are sent in by wrestling families and fans from around the country, and are also being considered for the photo contest page in USA Wrestler magazine and the USA Wrestling Facebook page. In honor of the start of USA Wrestling's spring and summer season, this week's photo comes from our friend Stuart Mahler with his image of 70 young wrestlers training in freestyle and Greco-Roman at a recent workout in Florida. Have your photographs considered for USA Wrestling's photo contest simply by emailing them to Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. That'll do it for this week's show. From all of us at USA Wrestling, I'm Ross Peterson, and thanks for watching.